Hello, you join me this evening for a review of Who Wants to Be a Millionaire, episode 5. Kicking off this review, we saw last night's last contestant return to conquer the rest of the questions with, I think she had no lifelines by the end of yesterday's show. Anyhow, she returned to continue on with the rest of her questions. She ended up going home with, I think, £16,000, and then, or was it £32,000? I'm not sure. One of those. And then we had a politics student who, according to Jeremy Clarkson, was more interesting than his colleague James Megg, and better dressed. If you would like to check out that clip, I will leave it linked up above. It should be popping up on your screen now. He went home with £32,000, and for a politics student, he seems to know a lot about Queen Elizabeth and cathedrals. Although he says he knows nothing about them, he did very well for a political student who sounded to me like someone who watched the shows or has an interest in the questions that have been asked. So for someone who doesn't watch or has never even heard of the questions, you'd be surprised at how much he knows. So he went home with 32,000 in his pocket, either to pay off student loans or to go down to the shops and buy a bag of Monster Munch. We then had another appearance from Fastest Finger First, which of course has been known to amuse the viewing audience and the audience and the contestants in the show. From that result anyway, we have seen, I think she's a part-time history teacher rather. Yeah. By the time she got on, she got to about question 5, or question 6 I think, which was £2,000 before the klaxon sounded for the episode to finish. Of course, we'll be seeing more of her tomorrow evening at the slightly later time of 8 o'clock on ITV, STV and Virgin Media 1, so tune in then. But overall, this series has been, surprisingly, has received a lot of viewership and anticipation from the viewers, myself included. I tuned in to watch the 20th anniversary special back in May, so I don't know why I tune in to watch the 20th anniversary special and not tune in to watch this series, if you get what I mean. Of course I'm going to watch this series, and of course the series that comes after it for next year, because of course at the end of this evening's show we got confirmation that Who Wants to Be a Millionaire will return next year with Jeremy Clarkson presumably still hosting the show. Yeah, we got confirmation that the series is coming back next year, which is something that I will be tuning into again next year and possibly the year after that. for the series following next year's series, and it'll hopefully keep going. Tomorrow marks the final episode of Who Wants to Be a Millionaire in this series, and then after tomorrow's episode review goes out, I will be giving a roundup of how the series went, what I liked about it, what I didn't like about it, what they could change, and just see where it goes from there. I realised as well I might not have done a roundup of the 20th anniversary specials that aired in May, so I will have that included in my round-off video coming out after my series finale review is published here. And you'll get to see my final thoughts on that as a whole. Yeah, Jeremy Clarkson, I have to say, is a very good host of what he does, particularly seeing that Chris Tarrant doesn't host the show anymore. I'd say he was a fairly difficult person to take over from, but Jeremy seems to be handling it like a boss. I was going to reference Top Gear there, but I didn't think it was going to work. Anyway, join me tomorrow for my final review in this series of episode 6. Don't forget that you have episode 2, 3. Don't forget that you have reviews of episode 2 and 3 coming your way this evening also, so tune in for that. And of course, if you want more of these videos, click here, and to keep up to date and never miss a video, click here. Thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you tomorrow evening for my final review of Who Wants to Be a Millionaire episode 6. Thank you very much for watching.